Welcome to this segment of Straight Talk. Today we're going to visit with Alexa Stone, the president, and Morgan McDonald, a sustainability specialist with EcoPreserve, which is a consulting company in Florida. And it's good to see you both today. I hope you're doing well.
Good. Nice to see you too, Jeff. Thanks for doing this.
I have a bonus question for you, Morgan. You're a sustainability specialist. What is that? What is that? What do you do?
So I'm a sustainability specialist, and I focus on helping to foster sustainability within workplaces. We focus a lot on the LEED certification. For those who don't know about LEED certification, it's from the United States Green Building Association. So we're helping to make buildings more efficient and more sustainable for the future, which although some people might say, GBAC, how is that about sustainability? But it's about creating sustainability long term. These pandemics are going to occur again and again. We are living in a time that we're encroaching on a lot of different habitats, and we're getting more in touch. We're getting a lot closer to these different types of animals, and that's creating more zoonotic diseases, which is very, very much the same as with climate change and deforestation. And because of this, we're creating more of these zoonotic diseases, which is more likely to cause another pandemic. So making these programs specific to infectious diseases is encompassed exactly with sustainability. So it really is, sustainability can be a part of anything. Every single business needs to be sustainable in order to function and be able to flourish in the future. And that's really where I come in, as well as EcoPreserve, is we're trying to help businesses sustain themselves and flourish for the years to come.
Well, it sounds like you might have some good job security in the world we live in today. Let's take a look at the GBAC Star Accreditation program, because we did an interview recently with EcoPreserve and we talked about the program, but today we're going to look at the nuts and bolts of how it all develops into a program that helps facilities reopen and invite visitors and workers so they're safe. Now, Morgan, I know you've been working with public venues and local government teams from Florida to Texas. What are you seeing as far as the challenges these facilities are facing?
Oh, well, thank you, Jeff, for the question. We're very grateful to be able to commit to the GBAC project teams that we've been working with. And there have been some challenges, of course, with any sort of program. The first one is, COVID-19 is so new to all of us. We have not gone through a pandemic like this in over 100 years. So nobody alive today has dealt with this. And there's always a challenge with the lack of understanding, as well as believing into the science that is going on with these infectious disease programs. So we always recommend that the people doing these, the program is doing an online training, trying to stay up to date with the CDC, the WHO, any sort of way to keep themselves informed. Another way that this has been a little bit challenging is because COVID-19 is so new, things are evolving at all times. You can get one sort of information. I'm sure a lot of us remember, in March, we weren't supposed to wear masks, and now we are supposed to wear masks. And some people are kind of confused, why is that changing? It's because the science is changing. So it's really important for people in this program to make sure that they know, what is going on currently, because it's critical to the protocols that we are creating to incorporate the new science that is available, the science that is available currently. Now, we are creating living documents, so we do know that this could change, and that's definitely a possibility. So that's part of the challenge, but it's also part of making sure we're up to date and learning as much as we can. Another problem that we've seen that's not necessarily a problem or a challenge, but it's just new for a lot of facilities, is how interdepartmental and multidisciplinary this is. You have every single type of worker with this. You have environmental services, you have the C-suite, you have engineering, you have HR, you have contractors, you have all of these different groups of people who often don't work together. And in order to properly implement a service like this, you have to work as a team. And so it's so important that these employees and people that are being contracted are able to work together and, really understand how this program is going to affect each one of them individually, as well as help the team grow. Since GBAC teams are working with a third party, this is really helpful. And that's where EcoPreserve is very great for this, is that we are able to look at this from an outside perspective. We're able to teach them, hey, you know, this is great for environmental services, but how do we implement this for HR? And we can help build that seamless program to come together and facilitate it throughout the entire facility. In the end, we want all of the 20 elements of this program to be completed, and we want them to be customized best to the facility to create a good response to the CDC guidelines and the government regulations. And because we've been working with different states, they're all different. None of these states have the exact same regulations. You know, Florida and Texas are very different. And so it's really nice for us to be able to see that we're able to implement these guidelines specific to each facility and specific to each state. So it's been a very rewarding process. I know we're doing something that really helps people, which is something that's always, you know, a good thing to do for the end of the day. So there are some challenges, but I think the pros really outweigh them.
Well, with the process, I'm sure they like it when you guys come to help, and they welcome your expertise, because there's a lot involved with it, as we all know. Yeah. Well, Alexa, let's talk to you for a moment. As president of EcoPreserve, what are you seeing and hearing from the higher level regarding GBAC Star and the industry in general?
Well, this pandemic has created a lot of stress on large venues, as well as commercial office owners and property management companies. And as a result of that, we're seeing more focus from them on multiple accreditations that are related to human health and wellness, which is really terrific. And I also think because of that, there's an increased focus on risk identification. So internal assessments are the number one way to uncover risks at the workplace. And with that knowledge, you can design the measures to maintain a safer environment. And we totally encourage that. I mean, the truth of the matter is, Jeff, we're not sure what the world of COVID will bring from a legal and social standpoint. And I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of webinars on that topic. So I'm grateful to see everyone being as careful as they can in measuring the risks.
Well, here's maybe a final question for either one of you. You know, as facilities approach you for this consulting, because many of them need the help to implement GBAC Star accreditation. What advice would you give them as they begin the process? Is there anything that they should look at right at the beginning to make the process easier?
Yeah, there's one thing, and actually Morgan touched on it, and that is to take the video training that's on the GBAC website. Mm-hmm. That's terrific. I think all of us can benefit from that.
I would also add, you know, be patient with yourselves. I think a lot of times, a lot of facilities are, you know, so ready to get back, and it's just, we're not living in a business as usual anymore. The world has changed. So we got to be patient with ourselves and be understanding that, you know, we're all going through this. This is all new to everybody. There's not one person in this planet who is not affected by this. And so just come in, you know, with an open mind, try to bring some peace to yourself, and just know that we'll get this done, and we'll get this done as a team, but it will take time.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, good words of advice. Now, of course, this is part 2 of our interview series with EcoPreserve. Maybe we'll do a part 3 soon and talk about what's next. So, well, thank you both for your time today, and keep saving the world. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Jeff.